guys, in today's video we are going to share with you how to save a sexless relationship. So if you are at the sexless stage, you're probably already way far down the road and it's going to take a little bit of effort, and hopefully you are watching this video before you are that far. But if not, today's tips are going to help you to put your relationship back on track. So I am Sanin Hami, the Intimacy Angel.
And I'm Kevin Anthony, the Truth Warrior. And if you have ever been in a relationship where you were not getting as much sex as you wanted, then make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications.
Research suggests CBD products may improve libido by reducing anxiety. And no, CBD is not psychoactive. It does not get you high. A recent survey of 5,398 Americans from Remedy Review, a website that focuses on CBD and natural health remedies, found that 9.3% of respondents have taken CBD for sex. The majority of those respondents said their orgasms were more intense after taking CBD. If you are interested in experimenting with CBD in your sex life, I have found a top quality CBD product for you. Their full spectrum CBD comes from premium, sustainably farmed hemp plants, which are processed in the United States. Plus, they have no harmful solvents, chemicals, toxic compounds, or impurities. To get up to 51% off while supplies last, go to CelineRemy.com/go/CBD or click on the link below.
So the first thing to do when you have a sexless relationship is to admit there's something wrong. Because if you are in a romantic relationship with somebody, there should be some intimacy of some kind. If you don't have that intimacy, you're basically roommates. You're basically friends. And yet you are upholding each other to standards or to monogamous standards of like, this is the only things we can do with each other, and yet we're not doing it. So it's a little bit, doesn't really make sense. So being willing to admit that you've let your relationship go this far and that there is something wrong is the number one step that you can do and take.
Yeah, which leads us to number 2, which is be willing to talk about it. So you can admit there's a problem, but if you don't ever say anything and you just keep going on, yeah, there's a problem. There's a problem, there's a problem, but you don't actually take any steps to fix it, then obviously nothing's going to happen. So the next step really is you have to be willing to talk about it. We do so many videos about communication, and it's because it is so key. You have to be able to talk about anything in your relationship. You just have to. And if you don't have the type of relationship where you can talk about anything, then you need to work on that. You need to try to get to that place where either of you can at any moment come up to the other one and talk about any subject, no matter how difficult it is.
So let's say you've admitted it to yourself, you've communicated with your partner. Now what do you do? The first thing is you're going to take the sex away and say, we're not going to have sex at all. You're like, well, we're already not having sex. We have a sexless relationship. But here's what's different. Now you've admitted it and you've communicated. So you know there's a problem. And now you're going to say, we actually can't have sex. However, you are going to commit to having weekly intimacy dates. So you're going to take sex off the table for a few weeks or maybe a few months. Like both of you need to communicate about that, what feels right, but you are going to increase the physical touch, but you make an agreement that you're not going to go all the way to having sex.
Yeah, so the reason for this is you want to reestablish intimacy, but you want to take the pressure away. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, okay, now this has to lead to sex, right? You want to take that away and you just want to focus on establishing the intimacy, because the intimacy really does come first.
And then the thing is, put a deadline per se. Like, I mean, don't go for this for like 3 years, but like if you like for 3 months, we're going to have these weekly dates and have this connection time, and then we'll have sex. There will come a time well, you're just gonna have to do it. And guess what? It's probably not gonna be that fantastic, especially if you haven't had sex in years. Maybe your body won't be functioning the way you want, or you'll come too soon, or I don't know, whatever, it's just get it over it with at some point, because once that's done, the pressure again is off, and then you can continue with the weekly dates and then start to incorporate more of the sex.
If you've done a really good job at reestablishing the intimacy, the sex will probably just happen on its own. You won't even have to schedule it or say, should we stop taking that off and maybe put it back on like that? You probably won't have to do that because you've reestablished that intimacy, and now there's that desire, and you guys are just going to be like, let's do it.
Now let's talk about something that many don't think about, which is about renegotiating how to get your needs met. So maybe right now you are in a monogamous relationship. Maybe one of you is feeling sick or has something that could physically impair their ability to have sex. Maybe somebody has decided that they will never ever again have sex, but you have all these other things with that partner that work really well, that you love about each other and that you share, but just not the sex. It might be time to figure out ways to open up the relationship, or to see, maybe you can have a special friend you have sex with, or maybe you can go get an erotic massage, or anything that could still fulfill some of your needs, so that it takes that pressure off the partner, but you still keep all of the things that are good about your relationship.
Yeah, the idea here is to think outside the box, because there are going to be situations that it's just not going to happen as far as sex. As Celine mentioned, it could be a health condition. It could just be where somebody's at in life. There's so many reasons why it just may not be able to make that happen again. But you still love the person, you still enjoy being with them, maybe you have kids together, you have a business together, whatever it is, the relationship is worth keeping, but the sex isn't there. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to think outside the box, and you're going to try creative ways, like potentially opening up the relationship. Now that's a little tricky. Do not just decide, hey, let's just do it, without really figuring out how to do it first. So please go back. We've done other videos on this. We've done whole podcasts on this. If this is something that might work for you, please go listen to that stuff first before you attempt it.
And then seek some support and professional help, so we can help you with getting the sex back or opening up your relationship without destroying it. And sometimes if you've done everything you could on your own, it is time to think about bringing in a third party, somebody who can bring a different perspective and help you guys communicate again in a way that can recreate the intimacy.
I am always amazed that people will hire professionals to do all sorts of things. A professional to fix your car, to come in and fix stuff in your house, to do all sorts of things for you. But the thing that is most important in your life, which is your intimate connection and relationship with your significant other, a lot of people go, I don't want to hire somebody. That's expensive, or
that's weird.
What is your relationship worth to you? If a professional could shorten the curve, the learning curve, if a professional could bring something back from the point where you thought it couldn't be brought back, then it is worth it.
In fact, if you give us 90 days, we will help you bring the passion back between the sheets and go from having an average or no sex life to really having passion, love, and connection. And you can check that out on the link below at celineremy.com/passion, and you can learn all about our Highly Sex Platinum program for couples, because we want you to have mind-blowing sex. Because it does make life better.
It sure did this weekend.
Anyway, we hope today's video was helpful and inspiring. So get moving. Don't pretend it's not happening. Do something about this. And thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.